Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Luandile here, the leader of Manikwe School. And today we're going to be doing exercise 1.4 from student A's perspective. This is the textbook that we're actually working on. We're going to deal and work on each and every problem on this textbook. As I've mentioned before, this channel is actually dedicated to problem solving rather than teaching through the content of this book. You want to go through the content by yourself, and then when it's time to do the exercises, when it's time for practice, you attempt it by yourself, and then you get back to my solutions in order to compare what you had and what I'm providing here. There's something I also want to talk about. Right, you see, since we still are on chapter 1, you probably haven't yet seen the importance or the value of this channel simply because we're only doing simple and straightforward stuff. You see, once we get to something interesting, sections such as loops, right, arrays, multidimensional arrays, we'll even go to advanced stuff, that's object-oriented programming. That's when you will get to see how useful this channel is. You see how useful it is to know many ways of solving one problem, because not only you will benefit by knowing more than one way, you'll also get to realize all different kind of mistakes beginners happen to do with programming. So I've seen it on the real world. You see, some professional programmers, they make silly mistakes such as not commenting their code, right, which is something we haven't touched yet. But then again, the point is, on this tutorial, on this channel, you gotta attempt it by yourself, do an exercise by yourself, and then you see all the three different ways I'll be providing for all the problems. Most of the problems on this textbook, right? By most, maybe 98% of them, because some they are way too straightforward in a way that there's what makes sense is to only give one solution. So without any further words, let's get on to our IDE and then start working on exercise on chapter, and then start on working on exercise 1.4. Let's look at the question first. Okay, the question simply says, what we are required to do is to write a program that displays the following table. We are actually doing 1.4. So basically this is a multiple table. So it's a to the exponent of 1, a to the exponent of 2 and 3, and b and a to the exponent of 3. So the value of a will first be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So let's get onto our IDE and start giving the solution from student A's perspective. Exercise 1.4. Let me choose a location. I've created a folder called exercise 1.1, and that's where I'll be 1.4, and that's where I'll be solving my projects. Okay. Let's clear this out first. Okay, and then let's give a solution from student A's perspective. So our class will then be exercise _1 _4 a, and then we add the main method here. this generated code. So now let's get started. This solution I will give is slightly bad. I will tell you in a sec why you'll see by yourself in a sec why it is slightly bad compared to the others I will also give. But let's first give what is it that student 1 will do. Okay, first, let me put it this way. Student A's solution oh my god, I cannot type now. Requires 1 to know the number of digits of the answer for student A's solution requires 1 to know the number of digits of the answers for some of the computations. In fact, I should make this a multi-line comment by doing this. And then simply go, there we go. Okay. Okay, the solution is given as follows. We're gonna go see stem.out.print len and then put this thing. This is what we've got to print first. So we're gonna print 1. No, in fact we're gonna print A. So the exponent of A to the exponent of, where is this thing? It's A, yeah. So the exponent of 1. And then we go how many spaces? And then we go 8 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we go A to the exponent of 2. Again, we go 8 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And lastly, we go A to the exponent of 3. And the next line, we print system.out.print. Then again, so let me put M. Why I keep forgetting M? So now this is what we gotta print 1, 1, 1. The second row. We'll then print the third row, so on and so forth. So in order to print the second row, we'll print 1, and then we concatenate that 1 we gotta print 1 and then we leave 10 spaces. No, in fact, 10 spaces. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces. And then we go, I put the concatenation sign, and then we go, we put inside the brackets, then we go 1 multiplied by 1. I mean, of course we could have leave out the brackets. It's just that I personally prefer putting them because it makes you it makes a program more readable. Okay, after I've put that, we gotta concatenate that with a bunch of spaces. In fact, 10 spaces. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 again, and then you go. And then you go 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. Of course, since we do know that 1 multiplied by 1 to the exponent of anything is always going to be 1, you could have left out all this thing here, all this 1 multiplied by 1. You could have replaced it by 1, and this 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. So you could have replaced it with 1. But I personally prefer showing you guys the steps this way. System.out.print len. So now what is it we're printing? It is the dead row, this one here. So again, in fact, if you like, you can simply paste it, copy and paste it this. Look at it. You just go, you simply replace 1 with 2. You see, the part that matters the most here is actually the number of spaces in between these numbers here, because you might be doomed and then end up putting incorrect number of spaces between, and that's definitely gonna mess up your output. So this is what we have. You see, there's something you're gonna notice when we do the very last line, which is 4. When we deal with 4, since you see 4 multiplied by 4 is a 2-digit number, whereas if you look at all these numbers at the top, 3 multiplied by 3, it's actually 9, right? And also 2 multiplied by 2, which is a 1-digit number, and also 2 multiplied by 2 is a 1-digit number. So that's definitely going to affect our output. The fact that this is going to be a 2-digit number, that's definitely going to affect our output. So in order to overcome that, even though let me print it out so that you guys will see what is it I'm talking about, then we fix it later. You'll see, because this is a 2-digit number, 16 is a 2-digit number, that affected the place at which 64 will be displayed. But as I just mentioned, that this is the lame solution out of the 3. We are gonna see a better one on the next tutorial. So take care, you guys. Cheers, I'm gone.